girl Coco with ncrapscene.com. Introducing Mr. Maul here to the people. Say hello to the people, sir. Could you tell us a little bit more about yourself? I know you had a couple of aliases, Mr. Maul,
a.k.a. Maul Brock, Maulotropolis on Twitter. One half of District 4. That's pretty much it. That's all the names I got.
Gotcha. He is an up-and-coming MC, a rapper, you guys. It's a beautiful thing when you hear raw talent. So tell us, so you've been doing music for how long?
Music for going on 3 years. I always wrote poetry forever.
Gotcha. So do you think poetry is kind of your jumping off point into rapping?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Did you write a poem one day and you just were like, wow, this poem could be a rap?
Yeah, I used to write the beats, but it would be a poem. It wouldn't be an actual song. It would just be the beat, and I would write to it and perform it that way. So I was always writing raps, but I guess it kind of hit me that I could rap.
Gotcha. Do you remember any of that rap that kind of got you into it?
My first rap I wrote was to the Roots, You Got Me instrumental. But it started off as a poem. But as I read it, it sounded like a rap. So I rapped. And I used to always freestyle. And then my boys used to be like, well, nigga, you could do it because, you know, you always write and stuff. So I just put 2 and 2 together.
That's nice. So you've been doing it, you said 3 years.
Yeah, writing and rapping, making hooks, and putting the song in format properly for 3 years.
So you were performing. Where did you sort of perform at as a poet? Did you find that it was different places that you would have to perform versus being a poet versus being a rapper?
I never performed my poetry. It was like just a thing I did and shared it with people. I never had like a set place where I would go perform. I wasn't known as a poet if you didn't know me. You know, you would have to know me to know I wrote poetry.
Gotcha. What artists do you say influence you the most right now?
Well, it's not really right now. I have to say Black Thought. That's like my favorite artist of all time. And maybe, it's not too many of them. I go back and listen to old music, so I would say like a Curtis Mayfield. I like John Clemmer. And I just incorporate their sound music-wise, and then rap with that type of jazz sound to it.
Gotcha. So there's a little bit of jazz influence to your hip hop.
Yeah, every sample I choose is a jazz sample.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't really, because soul sampling is done a million times, and jazz kind of speaks for itself.
Do you play any other instruments other than your voice?
Play no instruments whatsoever.
If you could play an instrument, what instrument would you wish you could play?
I wish since day one, I wish I could play a saxophone. It's just something smooth about a saxophone, you know. Like if you look at like Barry White's video, that dude with the saxophone, like that's smooth. I wish I could do that.
Pretty cool. Have you ever tried to play it?
No. I smoke too much.
No, I hear you. You seem like you probably would have been awesome at the saxophone.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know.
I think I would have been.
Yeah, but you know, it's probably good this way. You have your outlet as being what comes out through your words and through your rhythms and your music. Yeah. So I saw you on the mic earlier. What was the name of that song?
It has no name. I'm making a CD that has no name. I'll name it when I get to the end of it. I'm just taking it track by track. It's not the simple format of songs, you know. I might have a song that's a minute. I might have a song that's 5 minutes. There's no set format of it. So when I finish it and put it together and select tracks, then I'll name it. You know. So, but I think I got a name for that track, but I don't want to put it out yet.
No, I hear you. It's kind of like when you have a baby, you don't want to pick the name.
It takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, when you see the baby, you usually know exactly what the name is.
Yeah.
But no, I can respect that. You seem more like would you consider yourself a musician or an artist? Because some people, I always like to ask those questions.
I think it's the same thing. I hate when people say they're an artist or they're a musician because it's the same. You take somebody that draws and you take somebody that paints. They're both considered artists. They're not a drawer or a painter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're both artists. So, whatever you consider it me to be, I'll take it because I don't really set limitations myself to just be a musician. And, I can do anything. I feel like.
I hear you. As far as music is concerned, is it about fame, or is it about actually hearing people enjoy your music, or seeing them enjoy music, or hearing it out of the cars?
A little bit of both. Nobody can say they're just doing it just to do it, But I will say, to get to that point of fame, certain things that people go through, and they change the person that they are. If that's what it takes to be famous, then I don't want to be famous. So I can do me and become famous, and it's all good. But I never want somebody to tell me, like, what type of sound I have to put out, or what type of message I have to send. And that's where a lot of people, they just try to do something to fit in. Yeah, I'm not that type of person.
I got you. That's I can't ask for a better answer than that. So far, what would you consider your proudest moment?
I went out when I was in Colombia, and I was recognized off of my music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm from South Carolina, but Colombia, I'm not really in the music scene there. So for somebody to recognize me and like, oh, I like this song, like that was it right there, That just made my whole year, So that was probably my proudest moment.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And is there a favorite line that you've spit in one of your rhymes that every time you hear it in one of your songs, you're like, that's, to this day, it's still an awesome line?
Yes and no. I feel like I haven't written out my best song.
Gotcha.
No, I feel like I have not written out my best song. So I can't say I have a favorite because one day I might hear it, and I listen to my music with a third ear. I don't listen to it because I made it. I listen to it from a perspective of me listening to music. So I don't think I have a favorite line, actually.
Not yet?
I don't. I'm my toughest critic. I feel like, there's room to work. But I can't say I have a favorite.
Gotcha.
I'm not the type that, like, nigga, you hear that? Like, that's just not me. That's not me.
Everybody has their one line sometimes.
Well, I have a favorite song.
What's that?
It's called Ambition's Clone. That was actually the poem I wrote. That was my first song.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can we hear a little bit of it for the people? Just talk
yeah,
about it?
Okay. It's, damn, I'm tripping off the words, drowning in the birds, found the pinched nerve, hopped in cars and did not splurge, stopped on the curb, 10 on the herb, hand me the bit, I like the world away. I drove by deficiency and gave her away, looked at procrastination, blew his head away, took a fifth of peace of mind I can't maintain. And it just goes off of, like, things you see, like, I brought, like, failure and success and agony and made them actual people, so.
Oh, wow.
That's my favorite song.
Wow. Can I find that song online as well?
It's not online, actually. I can put it online, though. By the time this is out, it'll be online.
Good, because I was going to say, now I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm sure the people out there are interested in hearing what you got to say.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
It's on my Reverb Nation, actually, but I don't use that.
Hey, it doesn't hurt. If people want to hear the rest of the song, you know, we need to know where to find you at. If you were to give advice to artists that are trying to get out there, what would be your biggest word of advice?
Probably stop dick riding. That's just, it gets no blunt than that. I'm not trying to, I just feel like a lot of people look at someone else and they mimic every move that person makes. And that's not true. Nobody is the same. People are similar. But I can't sit there and, you know, just hop on what's new, and, you know, so that would be my advice. Never sound like anybody. Like I don't listen to, me and Joel's talking about this, I don't listen to anybody musically. I mean, there's a lot of good people out there, but I try to stay in my own lane. It's like tunnel vision with music, you know.
So, no, I agree with you there, because it's starting to sound a little repetitive out there.
Yeah. Everybody has, you know, you either conscious or you just, you know, club music, you know, and everybody's trying to fit in that crowd, but, you know, you can take one person and they can fit in both audiences, or, you know, anything.
Gotcha. Any advice on how to push themselves out there?
You know, always just have a plan and know where you want to be, and if you go by that plan and stick to it, then it'll happen. I don't know all the answers because I'm still trying, you know.
I mean, absolutely.
But from where I'm at now, I would say learn how to do everything. You know, anything that can push your music, from videos to, you know, artwork, anything that you are capable of doing to push your music, do it. You know, don't be afraid to just have somebody else do your stuff, and don't be afraid to, you know, just go out the box and do whatever you can to get your music out. If, you know, I guess that's a given, though. That's something, you know.
Gotcha. Do you think now it's more web-driven than hand-to-hand CDs?
No, I think it's web. The web has drowned a lot of music, because now if I go on the internet and I link you something, you know, people are just going to be like, oh, it's just somebody else rapping, you know. But if I meet you now, and now that we've talked and you're interested in music now, so that would be the best way to do it. I feel like if you connect with somebody on the level, and I mean, sometimes it's different because you have people miles away that might get with your music, but I feel like I think videos are the best way to get your music out. So yeah, it will be web driven in that sense, but as far as linking, nah, that's terrible. No. Well, I guess it is web driven to a certain extent.
I get you. You don't want to get lost in the crowd.
Yeah.
A handshake still is a little bit different.
Yeah. If I make eye contact with a man and, you know, let him know and he understands where I'm coming from, and that will rise some questions of, you know, wanting to listen. So.
Gotcha. Except for on ncrapscene.com, we shake hands and then put them on the web. So we know the difference between good music, bad music. And I am blessed to say that I've actually gotten an opportunity to shake this man's hand right here.
So he wants my music now.
And now I want his music. And you guys should too. Can you tell the people how they can find you, sir?
Malbrock.bandcamp.com. That's where all my music is at. MALBROCK, Bandcamp. You can spell, so .com.
Well, we hope you can spell, because you did find the site. But if you can't, just in case, the next screen that should be popping up is actually going to have all of his information to link him, so you can just hit pause and write that down. And Ma, is there anything else that you want to close this up with?
Yeah, Nobody Famous. That's my last project I just put out, and I'm proud of it. And go get it. It's on Bandcamp. And Love and Perfect Mixtape. This will be my 5th project, and I'm going to make about 4 or 5 more if I can this year. So just look out. I'm always working.
Gosh, I like busy people. Busy people make the world go round and also make us some beautiful, beautiful sound. So follow the links on the next page and